morning.
Good morning.
I mentioned yesterday that we would take a little break from learning the Mishnayos in order. In Maseches Tamid, we learned Mishnah Aleph about the Shechita of the Korban Tamid and the Zerikas Hadam of the Korban Tamid. We said we would take a pause and go to the Maseches Avoda and begin learning the details of the Avoda as we learned it till now. There are a lot of things we learned about. We learned about the different lotteries, the Trumas Hadeshin, the Hotzos Hadeshin, the Shnei Gezirei Eitzim, the Dishun Mizmeach HaPnimi, Dishun HaMenorin, 2 phases, 5 and 2, the Shechita of the Korban, the Zrika of the Dam, and there are a lot of things in between. So we're going to make very good use out of our Maseches Avoda. I believe that everyone has one now. I think there may be one person missing one. I think other than that, everyone should have a Maseches Avoda. And this is going to be a very, very enjoyable set of shiurim, I believe. We're going to actually combine Masech Midos, where we learned about the Beis HaMikdash, constructing the Beis HaMikdash, the different rooms in the second Beis HaMikdash. And as we were learning Masech Tamid the last few weeks, we've had to go back to our Midos diagram 3 to understand where the Kohen was at different parts of the Avoda. So through Maseches Avoda, we're actually going to take a look at each part of the Avoda that we've learned recently in Masech Tamid, go through it with the halachas and pinpoint it in the Beis HaMikdash, our Midos number 3 or other diagrams in Maseches Avoda. So we're going to be able to review now Masech Midos, interacting with Masech Tamid until we get to the Shechita and the Zrika of the Korban. When we finish that part of the Avoda, we'll go back to Masech Tamid and complete the Masech Be'ezrat Hashem, and then go back to the Maseches Avoda for the second part of the Avoda, at least the way we have divided it for purposes of this year. So if we go to Maseches Avoda, page 45, we know that Masech Tamid began with a very familiar topic for us, the same way Masech Midos began, the mitzvah of Shmiras HaMikdash, the mitzvah of guarding the Beis HaMikdash, which was a mitzvah that was done. It's a biblical mitzvah. It's a Doraisa mitzvah. It's one of the 613 mitzvahs, one of the positive 248 mitzvahs. According to the Rambam, it also includes a negative, one of the 365. So we are obligated in an affirmative way to create a shmira on the Mikdash. And chas v'sholom, when we negate the shmira on the Mikdash, we violate one of the negative prohibitions. So we're talking about a mitzvah doraisa. The way Masech Midos began was with a complete in-depth review of Shmiras HaMikdash. The Mishnah in Midos said that the Kohanim guarded the Beis HaMikdash in 3 places, and the Leviim guarded the Beis HaMikdash in 21 places. Masech Tamid doesn't deal with the Leviim. Masech Tamid is only concerned with the Avodas HaKohanim, in the Beis HaMikdash, and therefore Masech Tamid began with the Kohanim guard the Beis HaMikdash in 3 places. There's no discussion about the Leviim guarding in 21 other places. For purposes of our review, we're going to learn today a little about the Leviim, again, as a review. Although it's not in Masech Tamid only deals with the 3 places that the Kohanim guarded the Beis HaMikdash. The Kohanim guarded the Beis HaMikdash in 3 places. Let's take a look, and we'll come to the Leviim in a moment. Let's take a look at page 45 in our Maseches Avoda, Perek Aleph, chapter 1. Shmiras HaMikdash, guarding the Mikdash. Aleph, mitzvahs asay min haTorah, shiyu shomim beveis HaMikdash, There's a biblical commandment to guard the Beis Hamikdash. Ve'ein zeh mipnei gadovim uchedomer. Guarding the Beis Hamikdash has nothing to do with protecting it from burglars, robbers. El hu derech kavod lepalterin or platman, depending upon your choice. Shel melech shubo shomrim. It's to show the dignity and the kavod for the Beis Hamikdash. It is the palace of the Ribono Shel Olam on planet Earth, and a palace is supposed to have guards. We spoke about this in the Maseches Tamid. The Gemara in Brachos Daf Nun Ches. Malchusa da'ara ke'ei malchusa d'rakia. Malchusa d'rakia ke'ei malchusa da'ara. The Ribono Shel Olam wants man to understand how we are on page 45 of a Hashem Esa Avoda. The Ribono Shel Olam wants us to understand to a certain degree how he runs the world. As we mentioned yesterday in the Das Tavunos, a human understanding of how the Ribono Shel Olam runs the world. To understand that, the Ribono Shel Olam has all kinds of mishalim about a court system in heaven, prosecutors in heaven, defense attorneys in heaven, the heavenly court. The purpose of this is to allow us to understand that there's a system in place by which God runs the world. It's not chaotic, it's not anarchy. And the way we understand that on a human level is there's a judge, there are defense attorneys, there are prosecuting attorneys, evidence is weighed. So we have this concept that the kingdom on earth is sort of a mirror image of the kingdom above. So moving forward with that kind of understanding, the Ribono Shel Olam wants us to understand that the Beis Hamikdash Shel Mata is Ke'ein Beis Hamikdash Shel Maila. The Gemara tells us in Tainus that the Beis Hamikdash on planet Earth is a mirror image of the Beis Hamikdash in Shemayim. And therefore, the Beis Hamikdash in Shemayim is a palace, and the Beis Hamikdash on planet Earth also is a palace, albeit built by human beings. And for human beings to understand when they approach the Beis Hamikdash, they see the Beis Hamikdash, to leave an impression on them that they are about to enter a palace, so they set up a guard system. Zaman Hashmira, Beis, page 45, Beis. Zaman Hashmira hu kol halayla. The shomrim of the Beis Hamikdash guarded it at night, and that's the sheet of almost all the poskim, the Rishonim. V'yesh omim shegam b'yom tzorach shmira. There are those that say during the day the Beis Hamikdash also had guards, although the shita that Beis Hamikdash had guards during the day is a minority view, but in terms of logic, it would make sense. If the point of the guards was to protect from burglars, robbers, then one can understand the guards would only be there at night. But we just learned in Aleph that the purpose of the guards was not to avoid burglars. It was to give dignity and honor as if it's a palace. Well, if that's the purpose, then guards stand guard at a palace during the day as well for dignity and honor of the palace. At any rate, notwithstanding the fact that the purpose of the guards are to show dignity to God's palace, the shita of almost all Rishonim is that the guard duty was only at night, not during the day. Nevertheless, there's a concept that becomes embedded in the Jewish mind that the Beis Hamikdash had guards. Guards means it's God's palace. And that becomes a concept that a person absorbs into him, that a palace, guard, it's God's palace. Gimel, mi heim hashomer. Who were the guards? Hashomrim heim kohanim uleviim. The shomrim were kohanim and leviim, but in different places. B'shlosha makomo shomrim hakohanim. The kohanim guarded the Beis Hamikdash in 3 places. And uve'esem ve'echad makomo shomrim halaviyim. The Leviim guarded the Beis Hamikdash area and the Har HaBayis in 21 places. So altogether, according to this cheshbon, which we learned in Midas, there were 24 places that had guards. 3 of them had Kohanim, 21 had Leviim. Recall that when we learned about the Kohanim 3 places, we also said that wherever there was a Kohen, there was a Levi assisting him. This has nothing to do with the 21 separate places where the Leviim guarded the Beis HaMikdash. The Leviim had 21 distinct places where only they guarded the Beis HaMikdash. There were 3 places where the Kohanim guarded the Beis HaMikdash. In those 3 places, there was also a Levi there to be Makayim the mitzvah V'lovu Olecha V'Sharsucha. The Leviim shall assist the Kohanim in the Beis HaMikdash. So in order to assist the Kohanim in the Beis HaMikdash in their Shmira, their guard duty, wherever there was a Kohen, the 3 places where there was a Kohen, there was a Levi there to assist the Kohen. And then there are 21 separate places that the Leviim guarded the Beis HaMikdash. Masechta Midos dealt with all 24 places. Maseches Tamid only deals with the 3 places of the Kohanim, because Masechta Tamid deals with the avoda to bring the korban Tamid, which is basically through Kohanim, and so we're discussing Kohanim. Dalet. HaKohanim sheshomim bebeis aftinos ubeis hanitzutz hein yeladim. There are 3 places that the Kohanim guarded in the Beis HaMikdash. We go back to our Midos diagram number 3, and we look at the southern wall. There's going to be a misprint in the Sefer, unfortunately, which we'll correct in a moment. The Kohanim guarded in the Beis HaNitzutz, northwest, and this was an entry into the Azorah. And they also guarded on the southern wall in the Beis Avtinas. So there's a Kohen Beis Avtinas, and there is a Kohen in the Shar Hanitzutz. There's also going to be a Kohen in the Beis Hamokeh. Okay, let's put that diagram down and let's review that. Kohanim guarded the Beis HaMikdash in 3 places. Southern wall, Shar Hanitzutz. Southern wall, Beis Avtinas. Northern wall, Shar Hanitzutz, and Shar Beis Hamokeh. Those are the 3 places. In those 3 places, there's also a Levi that's assisting the Kohen. So now on page 45 of Ahashiv Avoda, Dalid, HaKohanim sheshomim bebeis Avtinas ubeis hanitzutz heim yeladim. We learned this, it's a big chiddush. The Kohanim that guarded at the Beis Avtinas and the Beis Hanitzutz. Beis Avtinas and Beis Hanitzutz were on a second floor, so to speak. They were in attics. The Beis Avtinas is where they prepared the Ketores, and it was named after the family of Avtinas, who were professionals at teaching the Ketores and at making Ketores. The Beis Hanitzutz was an attic, so you had to climb up to the attic. A Kohen would have to climb up to the attic to guard. The Beis Hanitzutz was also an attic, and therefore a Kohen would have to climb up to guard. The Beis Hamokeh was not an attic, it was a large room. So let's deal with the Beis Hanitzutz and the Beis Avtinas. They're attics. You have to climb up to get to the attic. Therefore, young Kohanim, it's easier for them to climb up into an attic than it is for older Kohanim. So the job of guarding the Beis HaMikdash in the Beis Avtinas and the Beis Hanitzutz, which were attics, were given to Kohanim that were not even bar mitzvah. And we discussed when we learned Masechta Midas, how is it possible that someone who is not bar mitzvah, who is not mechuyev in mitzvahs, he's not yet obligated to do a mitzvah, how can he do the mitzvah of Shmiras HaMikdash, which is a mitzvah that needs to be formed by all of Klal Yisrael? But that's how we learned, and that appears to be the shita of many Rishonim. Ve'ilu, continuing in Dalet, HaKohanim sheshomim bebeis hamokeh, the Kohanim that in the Beis Hamokeh, the third place, Hein bachurim me'al gil yud gimel shana dafka. They are young Kohanim, but they're over bar mitzvah because since it's a room, a large room, the Beis Hamokeh, there's no climbing into an attic, and therefore they allowed older Kohanim to watch in the Beis Hamokeh. Hanekroyim pirchei kohu. We had a technical difficulty there. We got cut off for a moment. So if we go to Midos diagram 3, the Lishka space Aftinas, which is on the southern wall of the Azora, is an attic. The Kohen guarded the Beis Hamikdash from this attic, and it was a Kohen under bar mitzvah. And the Levi would guard the Beis Hamikdash below, outside the area of the Azora, in this gray area, the Chel. This place where the Levi guarded has nothing to do with the 21 places. There's a Levi here only because he assists the Kohen in the attic. Then we go to the Beis Hanitzutz on the northern wall. Beis Hanitzutz is also an attic. There's a Kohen under bar mitzvah standing on the roof or in the attic, and there is a Levi below in the Chel guarding, not as one of the 21 places, but as an assistant to the Kohen. Those are two of the three places. The third place is the Beis Hamokeh. It's a large room. It is not an attic. And in here, a Kohen over bar mitzvah stood to guard, and a Levi stood outside to assist the Kohen. Those are the three places for the Kohen to guard: Beis Aftinas, Beis Hanitzutz, and Beis Hamokeh. Beis Aftinas, Beis Hanitzutz are attics. Beis Hamokeh is a large room. Back to page 45, Dalid Ubishar Hamakomos. In the other places, the 21 places, Hashomrim Heim Leviim B'nei Shloshim Shana B'mayla. The guards are Leviim, and they are at least 30 years old. So that's quite a difference. The Kohanim who guarded in the Beis Haftinas attic, who guarded in the Beis Hanitzutz attic, were under bar mitzvah. The Levi who assisted them below had to be 30 or over. In the Beis Hamokeh, in the room, the Kohen who guarded was 13 and above. The Levi who was outside to assist him was 30. Hey, still on page 45. HaKohanim Shomrim B'Shloshim Makomos Elu, which we just went through. The Kohanim guarded three places: Bebeis Haftinas, Bebeis Hanitzutz, Bebeis Hamokeh. Now let's not forget our halacha. Ein yeshiva ba'azora el lamalchei beis David bilvad. Nobody can sit in the Azora except a scion of the Davidic dynasty. Therefore, the guards have to be put in a place where they can sit. If they're guarding the entire night, or even if they're guarding in shifts, you can't stand that long at night. So the places where the Shmira was always in a place that would be considered outside the Azora, and therefore the guard can sit. So if we go to our Midas diagram 3, let's take as an example the Beis Hanitzutz northwest. A Kohen was in the attic. It is clear that the Beis Hanitzutz is inside the Azora. So how could the Kohen sit? The answer is he was in the attic. And the rule is, as we learned in Midos, Gagin va'alios lo niskadshu. Roofs and attics that are in the Azara do not have Kedushas Azara, and therefore the Kohen who is in the attic of the Beis Haftina, of the Beis Hanitzutz, or in the attic of the Beis Haftinas, he's in an attic. It doesn't have Kedushas Azara, and he can sit. The Levi who is guarding below in the Beis Hanitzutz of the Beis Haftinas, he guarded outside the wall of the Azara in this gray area, which is the Chayil. The Chayil is an area of 10 amos wide between the outer wall, which remember is called the Soreg. This is the line of demarcation beyond which a goy couldn't go. Then there's 10 amos. So the Levi is standing in these 10 amos, assisting the Kohen who is in the attic of the Beis Hanitzutz. There's a Levi in the gray area guarding, assisting the Kohen who is in the attic of the Beis Haftinas, and now we're coming to the Beis Hamoked. The whole purpose of this discussion in Maseches Tamid is to talk about the Beis Hamoked. There's a Kohen standing inside the Beis Hamoked, and a Levi assisting him in the gray area guarding the Beis Hamikdash. Now take a look at the Beis Hamoked. The Beis Hamoked is partially in the Chayil and partially in the Azara. The area that's in the Chayil biblically is considered Har Habayis, and therefore you can sit in this area of the Beis Hamoked. It's a huge room. Part of it is in the north, and part of it is south. It goes into the Azara. The part of the Beis Hamoked that's inside the Azara, you can't sit there unless you're a scion of the Davidic dynasty. The part that's in the part of the Beis Hamoked that's in the northern area, you can sit because it's over the Chayil, and that's where the Kohen would guard, right there in the northern part of the Beis Hamoked, and a Levi would be standing outside guarding in the Chayil. This is the subject of Maseches Tamid, because it is inside the Beis Hamoked that the Kohanim sleep at night before they do the Avodah the next morning. So as we begin reviewing now Maseches Tamid and the order in which things were done, we're going to have to wake up the Kohanim that are sleeping in this Beis Hamoked and begin the process of the Avodah. And that's why Maseches Tamid begins with the rule, Kohanim guarded in 3 places, Beis Hanitzutz, Beis Haftinas, Beis Hamoked, to get us to the subject of Beis Hamoked. Okay? Page 46 in V'hashev es ha'avoda. Beis Haftinas, Hilishka, if you want to take a look at the picture, it's 2 and 2a. Beis Haftinas Hilishka hanimtzes b'tzad dorom shel ha'azara ba'al shar hamayim. The Beis Haftinas, as we mentioned, is an attic. There is a gate that enters the Azara called Shar Hamayim, and above the Shar Hamayim is the Beis Haftinas. The Kohen guarding would guard in that attic, Beis Haftinas, and the Levi would be below. Beis Hanitzutz, Vehi halishka shari machina ba'as haktoras. That's the room in which Ketores would be prepared. Beis Haftinas. Next, Beis Hanitzutz, that's picture 3. Hilishka hanimtzas b'tzad safon shel ha'azara. As we mentioned, diagram 3, the Beis Hanitzutz is on the northern side of the Azara. Me'al Shar Hanitzutz. There's a gate called Shar Hanitzutz, and above that gate, so it becomes an attic, is the Beis Hanitzutz. Beis Hamoked. Okay, that's picture 4 on page 47, and here's your typo. Hilishka Gedola, it is a very big room. Hanimtzas b'tzad dorim shel ha'azara. It is on the southern side of the Azara. No, it's not. The Beis Hamoked is on the northern side of the Azara. Take a look at your Midos number 3, and Beis Hamoked is on the northern side of the Azara, and that's the way we're going to learn for our purposes. Here's the Beis Hamoked, northern side. And Hilishka Gedola, Hanimtzas, Betzad, it should say Safon Shal Hazara. Asuya Kakipa Agula, it's made like a dome. Now, there are two ways to understand that. If you look at picture 4 on page 47, this depiction of the Beis Hamoked shows a building with a dome above it. There are other shittas that hold that the whole building was a dome. In other words, the Beis Hamoked was in the shape of an igloo. We'll work with picture 4. The Beis Hamoked is on the northern wall of the Azora. It's a building that has a dome on top of it. V'yesh b'toch lishka zu arba lishka shakos ketanos. Inside the Beis Hamoked, there are 4 chambers in each corner. V'arba zavioseha, picture 5. Okay, let's take a look at picture 5. You have part of the Beis Hamoked outside the Azora, the northern part, and those 2 rooms are Lishkat Beis Hamoked u Beis HaTfilah. There's a staircase that leads down into a tunnel under the Beis Hamikdash, and there's a mikveh there. To the left, there's the Lishkas HaChosamos, which is still in the Chayil area. You can sit in this area. You can sit in that half of the Beis Hamoked. And that's where a person would go into, pay the money for, we learned about this, if you bought a private korban, he would pay the money to get the wine, the oil, the flour, and he would get a receipt for which he paid. And then he would go to another place in the Beis HaMikdash and get the oil, the wine, and the flour. Now we move in the middle of the Beis Hamoked, there's the fire. You can see that in picture number 5. That's the fire. The purpose of the fire is Kohanim who wanted to warm themselves up went in there. They were walking barefoot on a tile floor, and it got cold. Their bodies got cold. They came into the Beis Hamoked to warm up. Then there's another 2 rooms. If you take a look, they're showing it here on the floor. The floor has a division on it. That's showing you that you're now entering the southern part of the Beis Hamoked, and you cannot sit there unless you're a sign of the Davidic dynasty. The right-hand room is Lishkat Hatloyim LaKorban. That's the room in which they kept a minimum of 6 sheep so that they can bring the korban tamid in the morning and korban tamid in the afternoon. There were 6 sheep that had been inspected 4 days in advance. We learned that in Maseches Tamid. And to the left is Lishkas Lechem Haponim. That's where they made the Lechem Haponim. So those are the 4 chambers in the Beis Hamoked. Go now to page, if you take a look at page 48, you have a nice diagram there of the 21 places where Levium guarded the Beis Hamikdash. The Levium guarded the exits and entries to the Har HaBayis, as well as into the Beis Hamikdash, and altogether 21 areas. On page 48, they're showing you a picture of the inside of the Lishkas Hatloyim. Page 47, picture 4, they showed you the 4 rooms in the Beis Hamoked. One was the Lishkas Hatloyim. Picture number 8 is showing you the Lishkas Hatloyim, where they would keep a minimum of 6 sheep in the Lishkas Hatloyim for the korban tamid. Picture number 9, they're showing you another place where Levium guarded. Picture number 10, another place that the Levium guarded. Okay. We're going to skip now to page 51, and the focus is going to be now on our Beis Hamoked. The northern wall has the Beis Hamoked. 4 rooms, 1 in each corner. In the northern part of the room, you can sit. In the southern part of the room, you're in the Azor, you can't sit. Kohanim reported, for example, yesterday. 24 mishmaros. Every 24 weeks, a mishmar arrived in the Beis Hamikdash. The mishmar itself is broken into 6 parts. Each day, one part was responsible for the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash, which meant every 24 weeks, a Kohen would have an opportunity 1 day a week to do the avodah. On Shabbos, the whole mishmar would join together. So it's 24 weeks in between each rotation. So a Kohen who did avodah this week may not get a chance to do avodah for another 24 weeks. The Kohanim who are in this week's mishmar, let's call this week's mishmar Reuven, and this is the Beis Av. That's what the 6 parts are called, Beis Av. Today is Beis Av Yom Sheni, the Monday Beis Av of Mishmar Reuven. They arrived last night in the Beis Hamikdash, and they went to sleep in the Beis Hamikdash so they can get an early start Monday morning. They came to the Beis Hamikdash Sunday evening, went to sleep in the Beis Hamikdash Sunday evening, woke up early Monday morning today, and were able to begin the avodah. Where did the Kohanim sleep? In the Beis Hamokeh. Page 51, Perek Beis. Shinas HaKohanim v'kimosam. The Kohanim sleeping and waking them up. Makom Shinas HaKohanim ha'ov v'mikdash. Aleph. HaKohanim ha'asidim lavo v'mikdash l'machos. The Kohanim who are going to do the avodah the next day, meaning today, Monday. Boyim lishon balayla bebeis hamokeh. They came to sleep the night before in the Beis Hamokeh, Sunday night. Take a look at picture number 15 at the bottom of the page. The Mishnah described to us rovdin. There were looks like steps in the Beis Hamokeh. It is on those steps that the older Kohanim were able to sleep. The younger Kohanim actually slept on the floor. Take a look carefully at picture 15. We've just discussed the fact that part of the Beis Hamokeh is over the chel, and you can sit there and you can sleep there. But part of the Beis Hamokeh, the southern part, is in the Azorah. You can't sit there, let alone sleep there. You take a look carefully at the picture. They're showing you on the floor, according to this picture, the separation between the 2 parts of the Beis Hamokeh, and the steps upon which the older Kohanim would sleep are on one side of those separations, and that's where the Kohanim can sleep. If you look at the Beis Hamokeh, the place where the Kohanim would sleep would be in the northern part of the Beis Hamokeh, which is in the chel. The southern part, you couldn't sleep there because it is now inside the Azorah. So again, Aleph. HaKohanim ha'asidim lavod b'mikdash l'machros boyim lishon balayla b'beis hamokeh. The Kohanim that are going to do the avod in the Beis Hamikdash today, they came last night to sleep in the Beis Hamokeh. So Beis Hamokeh, remember, very, very important. It has 4 chambers in the 4 corners. One of the chambers that's in the Azorah has the 6 sheep in it that's going to be used for Korban Tamid. Half of it is in the Azorah, half of it is in the chel, and the Kohanim slept there to come early enough to start the avodah. Ziknei Beis Av Yishenim ala rovdim shel even. The older Kohanim went to sleep on these steps of stone. Shem shurs avonim rechavos kei madregos. They look like steps. Ve'ilo hatzirim shebohem. The young Kohanim agabe kistos al ha'oret. They brought their own sheets, whatever they wanted to cover, whatever they personally wanted to sleep on. The young Kohanim brought it there. Beis, b'sh'as hashena, while the Kohanim were asleep, ein levushin b'bigdei kahuna shelahem. They were not allowed to sleep in their bigdei kahuna. Elamanichen osam liyad rashem. They would leave their bigdei kahuna nicely folded near their heads. If you take a look at footnote 2, why they couldn't sleep in their bigdei kahuna, we would think they can't sleep in the Bigdei Kahuna because it's just not honorable. You have to, it's a bezoyin. How can you use the Bigdei Kahuna as your pajamas? Well, someone can say it's a great idea to sleep in your Bigdei Kahuna because this way when you wake up tomorrow morning, chip-chak, you're ready to go to the, to do avoda. You have to go to the kior first, but at least you're dressed. The answer is you can't do that. Footnote 2. You couldn't put the Bigdei Kahuna under your head as a pillow. Mishum sheyesh bahem k'ayim v'zeh be'ein zeh shas avoda. Another thing that occurred in the Beis HaMikdash that is not supposed to occur anywhere else. We give examples: Shabbos in the Beis HaMikdash, Yom Tov in the Beis HaMikdash, Yom Kippur in the Beis HaMikdash. They're slaughtering animals. You can't do that on Shabbos and Yom Tov and Shabbos and Yom Kippur. They're burning. They're making fire. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Yom Tov, Shabbos. These are things that are permitted only inside the Beis HaMikdash. Another thing that's permitted in the Beis HaMikdash is that the beged, there was a beged on the Kohen Hedyot and as well on the Kohen Gadol, but particularly we're talking now about the Kohen Hedyot. His gartel, his belt, was made out of klayim. It was made out of linen and wool put together, which you can't do outside the Beis HaMikdash. And even the Kohen can't wear his begadim in the Beis HaMikdash unless he's doing it b'shas avoda. So, since the gartel, the avnei of the Kohen Hedyot is made out of shatnez, and he's sleeping, he's not doing avoda when he sleeps. Therefore, he can't put his head on the shatnez because he's using shatnez as a pillow, and he's deriving benefit from the shatnez. So he couldn't use his kalayim, he couldn't use his begadim to sleep in, nor could he use his Bigdei Kahuna as a pillow. So they were folded nicely and put at the head of each Kohen. If you take a look on page 52, you have a nice picture there. Picture 17, you have a Kohen Hedyot sleeping on the floor with some kind of personal sheet that he brought with him. His Bigdei Kahuna are folded nicely at his head. In picture 16, you get a look at the Beis HaMoked. The older Kohanim are sleeping on the steps. The younger Kohanim are sleeping on the floor with their Bigdei Kahuna nicely folded at their head. Page 53, Maftachos HaAzorah. The keys to the Azorah. Every door in the Har Habayis and every door in the Beis HaMikdash was 10 amos wide and 20 amos high, with the exception of one entry and exit point, and that was diagram number 3, the Ulam. The opening to the Ulam did not have a door, it only had a curtain, and that opening was double the size, 20 amos wide, 40 amos high, but it only had a curtain. All other entryways had doors. The doors are 10 wide and 20 high. At night, the doors of the Azorah and the doors of the Beis HaMikdash were closed, locked. In order, obviously, to start the Avod in the morning, somebody would have to be in charge of opening the doors so that people can start coming in. Where are these keys? Who opened the doors? Page 53. We've learned all of this. We're now just reviewing it between Tamid and Midos, and we're going in order now. The Kohanim arrived last night. They went to sleep. They're asleep in the Beis HaMoked, in the area you can sleep. The older Kohanim are on the roved-in steps. The younger Kohanim are on the floor. And now it's getting close to dawn. We need to wake up the Kohanim and open the doors so we can begin the day of Avodah. Page 53, Maftachos HaAzorah. Gimel. Ziknei Beis Av, the older Kohanim of the Beis Av are the people for Monday. This week we called Mishma Reuven, and today is Monday, Beis Av of Mishma Reuven. Tomorrow will be Tuesday of Mishmar Reuven. It'll be Wednesday of Mishmar Reuven, and each day a separate group of Kohanim in that 24-week rotation would be responsible. So the elders of Monday, of today's Monday group, the elders, they would be the ones responsible for the keys to the Azorah. Where are the keys? Asher nimtzoyim b'toch guma ketana tachas achas haritzafot b'lishka. We learned this in Maseches Tamid. In the floor of the Beis Hamoked, there was a tile. You can see it in picture 18. There's a tile that was not grouted or cemented into the floor. And it had I can't call it a hook. It had, you can see in the picture, I've lost my English. You can see in picture 18, there's a ring in the middle of this tile so that you can pick up the tile. Underneath that tile, there's a chain, which you can see in picture 19, and hanging on the chain are keys for the Azorah. Ukshehigia, back to Gimel, Ukshehigia's manilas hashorim, when it came time to close the doors, the gates of the Beis Hamikdash Azorah, specifically the Azorah, which meant last night, the Kohanim who arrived last night are going to close down the Azorah. Meirim es hamirtzefetz umotz mimenes hamafechos. You lift up that tile, you take out the keys, one of the older Kohanim. V'noel hashorim. He goes around the Azorah and closes all the entryways to the Azorah. Umachzer hamaftachos l'makomam. He puts the key back on the chain and he puts the tile back in the floor. Umaniach oso al mirtzefet et kitzuso v'yoshin aleh. And this elder Kohen who took responsibility to lock the doors and to lock the doors to the Azorah and for the keys, he puts his private garment on top of that square and he sleeps on that. He uses it as his pillow, his private garment. Number 20, you can see the picture, the elder Kohen, he's covered up the tile with a private garment that he's using as his pillow so that nobody is going to be able to get to those keys during the night unless they wake him up. He's in charge of the keys. No one touches the keys unless he knows about it. You can see that at his head, again, his big day kahuna are folded nicely. So what happens? Let's go back to our Beis Hamoked. The Beis Hamoked in our Midas diagram 3 is going to be the last place to be locked. The Kohen who's responsible, he came last night. He's one of the older Kohanim of the Beis Av. He lifts the tile, takes the keys, and he's going to walk around the whole Azorah. And he's going to lock all the doors of the Azorah. He then is going to come back to the Beis Hamoked, go in the Beis Hamoked, lock the Beis Hamoked door. Remember, the Beis Hamoked is going to have 2 doors. One door goes into the Azorah, and one door is going to go out to the Chayil. So the Kohen arrived last night, took the keys, went around the Azorah, closed all the doors, the entranceways to the Azorah, went back into the Beis Hamoked, closed the southern door of the Beis Hamoked, then closed the northern door of the Beis Hamoked. And what's going on inside the Beis Hamoked? We mentioned before, one Kohen at least, according to the Rambam 10, would remain awake in the Beis Hamoked because that's one of the 3 places the Kohanim would guard. He would then close the northern door, and outside the northern door, there's a Levi guarding as an assistant to the Kohen. So where are we up to now? All the doors of the Azorah are closed. The Kohanim are inside the Beis Hamoked, northern door closed, southern door closed, northern door closed. The elder Kohanim are sleeping in the northern part on the Rovdim. The younger Kohanim are on the floor. The Kohen in charge of the keys has put his private garment on top of that piece of marble. and there's a Levi outside the Beis Hamokeh guarding, and now that is the night in the Beis Hamikdash. Okay. Dalid, Kohen Shenitma, we're not going to go into that. We learned about that in Masechta Midos and Masechta Tamid. Going to page 54, we'll do one more page to begin the avoda for today. Hashkamas HaKohanim Utevila. We have to wake up the Kohanim. They went to sleep in the Beis Hamokeh. We need to wake them up now to begin the day. And it's not day, it's before dawn, as we have learned, although we're going to read now the way the V'hashiv Havoda runs is basically through Shitas Harambam. I will note that for you. That is not necessarily the way we explain Masechta Tamid. We explain Masechta Tamid with a variation of other Rishonim other than the Rambam. Hey, page 54. HaKohanim sherotzim liskos betrumas hadeshen. What's going to be the first thing that's going to happen as we begin our day, even before day? Trumas hadeshen. We have to find a Kohen who is going to be willing to get up very early. He's going to go to the Mizbeach. He's going to take off with a little shovel some ash from the Mizbeach. And that avodah is called Trumas Hadeshen. And there are other things that Kohen is going to do. But first we have to wake them up. Hey, HaKohanim sherotzim liskos betrumas Hadeshen. You have in the Beis Hamokeh, let's say 50, 60 Kohanim sleeping. Some of them are interested in doing the Trumas Hadeshen. Remember, they've not been here for 24 weeks. Some of them may be interested. Some of them may not. Some of them may not want to get up that early, even before dawn. But those who want to do the mitzvah of Trumas Hadeshen and are willing to get up early, Tovlim, they go down in the Beis Hamokeh. Remember, we said the Beis Hamokeh has 4 rooms in it. If you go back to page 47, diagram number 5, in the lower right-hand corner, you're in the room of the Beis Hamokeh called Beis Hatvila. In that room, there was a circular staircase that went under the Beis Hamikdash, and there was a mikveh. And that's where the Kohen would be Tovel. Okay, so back to page 54. HaKohanim sherotzim liskos betrumas hadeshen tovlim kodem shebo hamamuna. They would go down and they would tovel in the mikveh before the mamuna, the supervisor. There are 15 supervisors over the Beis Hamikdash. The first supervisor we're going to meet now is the one that's going to shout out, "Wake up!" And then there's going to be a second mamuna who's going to actually enter the Beis Hamokeh. So let's see what it says in Hay. HaKohanim sherotzim liskos betrumas hadeshen tovlim kodem shebo hamamuna. The Kohanim who are interested in Trumas Hadeshen went down the spiral circular staircase and were tovel before the wake-up call. Umistapgim, they dried themselves for lotion big day kahuna, and they put on their big day kahuna. Vav, kodem sheyala amud hashacha, before dawn, bo hamamuna v'dofik al hashar shel Beis Hamokeh. Our first supervisor comes and knocks on the door of the Beis Hamokeh. Which door did he knock on? You take a look at picture 24 at the bottom. They're showing you a mamuna who's a Kohen, and he's knocking on the big door of the Beis Hamokeh. What door is he knocking on? Midos diagram 3. He is at the northern door of the Beis Hamokeh. Remember, this mamuna, he can't knock on the southern door of that's inside the Azorah. Everything is locked. So this mamuna came to the northern door of the Beis Hamokeh, and he knocked on the door. V'omer lahem, and he would say, and the name of this mamuna, they used to call him Gabini Cruz. Cruz means announcer. His name was Gabini. we mentioned that the 15 supervisors carried through their names. In other words, if the first supervisor to wake up the Kohanim was called Gabini at a certain point of time, then every announcer after he passed away, if his name was Aaron, Yitzchak, Shimon, Shmelka, he got a new name. Gabini Cruz, that's not his official name, but they would call him the Gabini Cruz, meaning he's the supervisor of the announcement. And it was a namesake for the first person who was the announcer, Gabini. So Gabini Cruz would knock on the door, the northern door of the Azorah, the Omer Lahem, and he would say to the people, the Kohanim who were asleep inside or who woke up, Imdu Kohanim lavodasem. It's time for you Kohanim to get up to start avodah. Ulavim leduchanchem, and it's already time for the Levim to start the process of the duchan. This is not the duchan here means the Levim are going to stand on a pedestal and sing for the shear of the korban. V'Yisrael l'mamadchem, and Yisrael, people, men who are Yisraelim, need to get ready to do the ma'amad. We haven't learned about the ma'amad yet. What's interesting here is Gabini Cruz is standing at the northern door of the Beis Hamokeh. The only people inside the Beis Hamokeh are Kohanim. So the only people he wants to wake up are Kohanim. Yet in his announcement, he says, wake up Kohanim to do the avodah, wake up the Levium, because you're going to have to soon get on the pedestal and sing shir, and wake up Yisraelim because you're going to have to do the Maimadas. Who is he talking to? The only people in the Beis Hamokeh are Kohanim. So we now continue as we learned the Maseches Tamid, one of the 10 miracles for Yericho, V'hayushomim eskolo b'Yericho. The Gabini Cruz announcement, wake up, was heard in Yericho. There's a machlokes whether it was Daf Yericho or all the way towards Yericho. We're going to learn it was heard in Yericho. Okay, this was one of the 10 miracles. Gabini Cruz's wake-up call is heard in Yericho. Zion. Hamamuna Oimalahem, they opened the door, the northern door of the Beis Hamokeh. And a different, that's how we learned it, we'll continue to learn it, a different Mamuna came in, a different supervisor, supervisor number 2. He's not the first one. The first one is Gabini Cruz, the announcer, wake up. They then opened the doors, the northern doors of the Azorah, and supervisor 2 walked in. Supervisor 2 is the lottery, the pious supervisor. Hamamuna Omalahem, the number 2 supervisor, the lottery supervisor, said to them, Mi shetoval, anyone who has already gone to mikvah, Yavo v'yafayas, he can come and join the lottery. And what's the lottery for? The first thing, Trumas Hadeshin. V'chol mi shetoval v'cheichin atzmo l'payas, anyone that has already been toivel and is ready to do the lottery, bonamod lasos apayas or Trumas Hadeshin. Come, we're going to now do the lottery for Trumas Hadeshin. So if you take a look at 22, just a picture, it's showing you the Beis Hatvila, it's showing you the mikveh that was downstairs under the Beis Hamokeh. The Kohanim then dried, it came up. Picture 23, Achar Hatvila, Lo Shem Bigdei Kahuna. After the Tvila, they put on their Bigdei Kahuna. You can see that it's basically white, white pants, which you can see, a white robe, which you can see, that's number 2, a white hat that you can see, and then you can see that very colorful gartel, the avnei, which is a mixture of linen and wool, and that's the shatnez that we were talking about. Those are the 4 garments of the Big Day Kohen Hedyin. Picture number 25. You can see an older Kohen, his hand is lifted, and he's making the announcement. Whoever was toivel and is interested in coming to do the lottery, approach, and we're going to do the lottery. The Kohanim that were ready, they assembled. Where did they assemble? logically, where are we right now? We're still in the Beis Hamoked. They opened, Gabini Cruz knocked on the northern door of the Beis Hamoked and said, wake up. They opened the doors from the inside, and the next supervisor for the lottery came in, and he said, whoever was toivel downstairs in the Beis Hamoked and is ready to do the pious, come do the pious. So logically, we're still in the Beis Hamoked, and that's how almost all Mefarshim learn. The first pious, the first lottery is done in the Beis Hamoked. There will be 3 more lotteries during the day. We learned about number 2 as well. Right now, we're in number 1. Lottery 1 has only 1 winner for the Trumas Hadeshin. The Rambam holds that the same way the last 3 lotteries were done in the Lishkas Hagazis. If you go back to your diagram number 3, Lishkas Hagazis is also on the northern wall, and that's the room in which the Sanhedrin met. The last 3 lotteries were done in the Lishkas Hagazis. The Rambam holds that the first one was also done there, which means that the Kohanim left the Beis Hamoked, went to the Lishkas Hagazis to do the pious. How did the doors get open? These are all questions on the Rambam. We are learning that the first pious is in the Beis Hamoked. They went down into the mikveh, came up, put on the big day kahuna. The lottery of Trumas Hadeshin is going to occur in the Beis Hamoked. And that's where we're up to right now for today. We're about to do the pious. We haven't done it yet. We're ready to do the pious, and that will be page 57 tomorrow, HaPious Harishon, and how that was done with all its diagrams.